Hello, so we're getting ready to start our drumming dice game. I know you love to start that, but we need to kind of go over some topics that we had a little bit of problems last time we did this. If you remember last year, I kept harping on you and just sending your paperwork back about you need to write complete measures. So we're going to go over that this year so we don't have that problem. So let's talk about writing complete measures in music. So before we can begin creating our percussion sounds, you have to know the rules for writing music. So how would you like it if you got a pizza delivered that looked like this? I'd be pretty ticked if I got a pizza that I was only half the pizza. Well, just like in music, you can't create half measures, and you can't create measures that have more than what they should have in them. So if I got a pizza like this, I would be calling my pizza place and saying, hey, where's my pizza? I'm missing half of it, and this has black olives. I don't like black olives. So, on the flip side, we don't want a pizza that is more than we ordered. So, if your pizza guy came to your house and he brought you this whole pizza, and then he just flopped another piece on here, I mean, yeah, that's great, that's a bonus piece, but that's not what I wanted, it's not what I ordered. I just want the whole pizza. Music is the same way. We just want a complete measure. We don't want extra beats. And then on the flip side, we don't want a missing measure. And that was a big problem last time we did this assignment last year. So let's make sure we do it right. When writing music, you must make sure your measures are complete. They must equal 4 beats. Now we know that measures do exist that have more or less than 4 beats. We're just not going to be using them for this exercise. For our dice game, we will be using the following notes: whole, half, and quarter notes, and rest are it. I know there's more notes and more rest than that, but for this class, that's all we're doing. Okay? So let's go over them. Whole note looks like a big O on its side, and it gets 4 beats in a 4/4 measure. So if I was singing it, it would go like this. Da. Now a whole rest, that's our hat. He's upside down because he ate too much. So he's upside down. So if I was doing a rest, this is what I would put in here. 4 beats of silence. If you roll a whole note or a whole rest, you can't put anything else in that measure. That's it. Okay? So that one is easy. If you get that one, your measure's done. Very simple. Now, let's go to our half note. Half note is the circle with the clean face with the stem up or down or to the side. And then that is our half rest. He's a regular half. He didn't eat too much. He doesn't take up the full measure. So if it's half of 4, it's going to get 2 beats. You can only have 2 half notes in a measure. So if you get a half note on the first, you can't put a whole note here. You could put another half note and a quarter note, but that's it. 2 quarter notes, excuse me. So whatever your measure is, it has to equal to 4. So a half note gets 2 beats. So ba. If it was a rest, sorry, I've gone off screen. So 2 beats. Okay. So then our quarter note, that's the dirty face with a stem up. It can also go down or to the side. And then I call this our little squiggle. That's a quarter rest. So quarter, 1 beat. Bomb, or if you're doing the rest. So you can have 4 quarter notes. Okay? You can have a half note and 2 quarter notes. You can't have a whole note with anything else. You can have 4 quarter notes, a half note and 2 quarter notes, a half rest and 2 quarter rest, a half rest and 2 quarters. You can have 1 half and 2 quarters of any combination. You can only have 1 whole. Don't give me pizza with more than that this year. I don't want to see that. So let's think about musical fractions. We've all worked fractions for years in school. You're in 5th grade, so you should know this by now. Whole fraction, that's my whole pizza pie. Half fraction, that's half a pizza. Half a pizza is okay if we're talking about a half note, but in a measure, I expect to see a half note, and then I would see another half note. Quarter note, it's 1/4 of the pie. So if you get confused, think about your pie pieces. To make a whole measure, you have to add the pieces up to make a whole complete measure. So for half, you could have a half and 2/4. But a whole, remember, you can only have a whole. So let's look at some examples. Here are some examples of good measures. It's our hot cross buns, please. We played on the recorder. So look, 2 halves, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a whole note, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 2 halves again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a whole note, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, they're all adding up to 4. So here's 4 quarter notes. 1 beat, 2 beats, 3 beats, and then 4 beats. Okay? Same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It all equals to 4. And I know this seems easy, but when you're rolling those dice, it can get complicated because you're not sure if your note fits in there. You may have to move it to the next measure and then come back when you have a note that can complete that measure. Okay? So on the next screens, okay? So you have a quarter note here, a quarter note here, a quarter note here. Now I want to know what goes in here. Now is this a good measure? Okay? So I have a quarter note, a quarter note, a quarter note, a half note, and a quarter note. Is that a good measure? Is this a good set of measures? Half, half, quarter, 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 rest, quarter note, whole rest, whole rest. Is this a good set of measures? If you brought this piece to me, would I approve it? Now, you're going to do some more practice. I want you to all go to your browsers and go to the website musictechteacher.com. You're going to go to quizzes/piano, quizzes. Then choose the following quiz. Rhythms, fill in the measure quiz. It's the third column midway down. You will need to show me a score of 80% above before I will issue you the dice and you can start rolling and creating your piece. Now, I'm going to go to musictechteacher.com. So you'll go to your browser and you'll type in Music Tech Teacher. It should already be pulled up like this. Okay? And just like I said at the top, quizzes, piano, quizzes. So you double quiz. Okay? And then third column, this is the first column, this is the second column, and this is the third column. So you're going to go down to quizzes. It's kind of midway down, and it's going to fill in the measure because I want to make sure you can fill that in. Okay? You need to show me a test result of 80% or above. So once you're on this site, you're going to click Next. We're going to do the first one together. Okay? Click the box with the correct number of beats to complete the measure of music. So this is in 4/4, 1, 2. Okay? We know those are 16th notes. That does not equal a beat. That equals 1. So that would not equal 4 if I put that in there. We know these are 8th notes. That equals 1. Wouldn't work there. That's a half note. So I click on the half note. That's the correct answer. And it spins. It may take a while. Okay? And then you'll click Submit. A half note. It's going to tell you right then and there. Okay? And then you go to the next question. This one is in 3/4. Watch your meters. It's just practice, but this is the best quiz for you. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. Once you've completed your rhythm quiz, raise your hand, and I will come around and I will issue you your dice and your music sheets, and we will get started composing. Remember, the winning composition is the one that we'll get to, we will perform for your 5th grade class production. So good luck and happy rolling.